Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to play a little game and I'm going to describe each of the 6 categories of tea in one word. Now before we begin, if you haven't visited us here in Green, Texas, outside of New Braunfels, Texas, which is about halfway between San Antonio and Austin on I-35, come visit us if you ever come down to the Republic of Texas, because we're not a state. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell and post a comment if you agree or disagree with these descriptions. So I'm drinking right now ginger turmeric pu'er. Normally I drink this right when I wake up at 5:30, but I woke up late, so normally I drink green one right when I get to the tea shop, and that's when I record these videos. So I'm behind on my tea, so I gotta drink the pu'er right now, and then I'll drink my green once I finish this third infusion right here. All right, so you guys know, and if you don't know, there are 6 categories or families that come from the tea plant. The tea plant is called Camellia sinensis. The 6 families are greens in order of oxidation: green, yellow, white, oolong, black, and dark tea. The most famous dark tea is pu'er, which I'm drinking right now. Now, these are teas. We will use the word tea for a lot of tisanes. Tisanes are essentially anything that you throw into hot water. So peppermint, chamomile, rooibos, butterfly pea flower, the list goes on and on of things that we call tea, but in fact those are called tisanes. So we're just going to stick to the 6 families of tea. So we're going to play a little game, and let's see if you agree with my description, and if you don't, definitely type in the chat box what word you would use for each category. So let's start. We're going to go from the least oxidized to the most. So let's start with green tea. And I'm not saying that these descriptions are accurate. Some of them might be a little pejorative, but I think if most people had to describe green tea in one word, they would say grassy. Grassy. Now, do I think green teas are grassy? Not really. Look, it depends on the 2 humongous factors on green tea to make green tea so sublime. It's the temperature you brew it and how long you infuse it. Certainly, if you go too hot and too long, it can be grassy and certainly bitter. I would say the Japanese greens, a better description would be umami, especially if you're drinking matcha and gyokuro. But grassy is a good description because I think we just look at green tea, loose leaf, and it's green. So we think of grass. But it can be a little grassy. So I think that in general would be the consensus choice. If you don't agree, post in the comments. All right, also 0% oxidized. A category that most people don't drink is yellow. We do sell yellow tea here. I love yellow. I drink it every day. It's an acquired taste. I would say yellow is funky. Now, I know no one else will use that word. So when you drink yellow tea, and this is what I kind of tell people when they come in, say, yeah, you want to try yellow? It's pretty rare. It's got its own unique taste. The yellowing process removes any bitterness that you might get from the green. But it's got this weird taste. Some would say it's sweet, but it's not sweet. It's got this funky taste. And it's kind of like a taste that, again, polarizing, is just funky. Can't think of anything better. All right, let's go to the oxidized teas, because green and yellow are 0% oxidized or broken down. White tea. White tea is about 5% oxidized. I think most people, the word they will use for white tea, and we have a video here called My Retort to White Tea Doesn't Taste Like Anything, would be light. I think that's the adjective for white tea. It's light. Remember, white tea, they just pluck the leaves and they just leave it out to dry, either in the sun or indoors, and that's all they do. Then they make sure it's dry enough, and then they ship it off. So yes, white teas, if you drink them straight, like a straight cultivar, like Bai Mudan or Silver Needle, they can be seen as light. You just have to drink a lot of white tea to appreciate it. Now, a lot of the dessert teas and certainly a lot of iced teas are going to be used as a white. You'll see a lot of strawberry white tea, mango white tea, all these things like that. But we're not talking about those. We're just talking about if you're not drinking any blends at all. These are straight cultivar teas. All right, next one would be oolong. Oolong is the great range of oxidation, anywhere from 15 to about 70% oxidized. So the lighter oolongs would be stuff like Tai Guan Yin or Iron Goddess of Mercy or Dong Ding, Alashans. These would be considered lighter. And then the stronger oxidized ones would be something like Bai Hao or Oriental Beauty. A lot of the Wu Yi oolongs. We sell Black Dragon, which is a roasted oolong that would be higher up as well in the oxidation. But in general, I think oolongs, the best way to describe oolongs is floral. Now, floral probably wouldn't be a good description for Black Dragon, which is roasted, but especially when we think of oolongs, you know, they're wrapped in those beautiful knots. I think floral is the best description. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, oolongs are really great for people who don't want something that's light and grassy, but they also don't want something that's really robust like black. Oolong is great. I wish more people would drink it. All right, The fifth category is black. Black tea is 100% oxidized. Adjective here would be robust. Partly because since black tea is 100% oxidized, they rip up the leaves, they pulverize them, especially in crushed torn curl or CTC tea. And because of that, it releases all the theoflavonoids, which make it really robust, and the rubigens, which make it look red. Remember, black tea is called red tea in China because of the liquor, the color is red. We call it black tea, but over there they call it red tea. So I would say robust. And because of robust, this is why a lot of black teas are sugared and milked. But honestly, most black teas should be drunk straight, aside from chai. But don't get the Brits will attack me right now. What about EBB, English breakfast? But what about Earl Grey? So I would say robust. And the final category of tea would be pure. Look, there's a lot of people come in, they'll be like, yeah, I tried pure. It tastes like a dirty horse's stable. Well, I've gotten that one. I've gotten a description of pure as wet cave, which I've mentioned to customers here. I think it's just primordial. There's just something smooth, earthy. Another adjective would be earthy, but I'll go with primordial. It definitely has an earthy taste. I used to call it liquid dirt, but I don't think it tastes like dirt. It tastes like earth. Earthy. And remember, pure is fermented, so it's probiotic. It has healthy bacteria and fungus in it. It's certainly healthier than kombucha, which is fermented black tea. So if you've never had pure, give it a shot. It's really good for your gut. And again, another acquired taste. I would say yellow and pure are the two kind of acquired tastes. Whereas the other four categories, even if you think white doesn't taste like anything, it is an enjoyable tea. So in review, green tea, grassy; yellow tea, funky; white tea, light; oolongs, floral; black tea, robust; pure, primordial. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear your descriptions. Until next time, take care and God bless.